I'm Adam Brufsky. I'm a professor of medicine at the University of Pittsburgh. I'm co-director of the Comprehensive Breast Cancer Center there at McGee Women's Hospital, the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. I'm here to talk about CDK4/6 inhibitors and what we found so far at ASCO. Yesterday at ASCO we had the presentation during the metastatic disease session of two abstracts that I think are fairly important in kind of setting the stage for what's to come next. The first abstract was MONARCH-2. That was a trial of fulvestrant with or without abemaciclib, which is the Lilly CDK4/6 inhibitor. This particular CDK4/6 inhibitor actually appears to have is a little bit more potent in terms of its IC50 on CDK6 and CDK4. As a result, it can be used as a single agent, although in this case it was not. In this trial, in a 2-to-1 randomization, about 440 women with progressive metastatic breast cancer on an aromatase inhibitor were randomized to fulvestrant and abemaciclib or fulvestrant alone. In this trial, the median progression-free survival of abemaciclib plus fulvestrant was 16.7 months versus about 9.4 months with fulvestrant alone. This was higher than historical controls, in particular trials like EFFECT and the control arms of PALOMA-3, which have progression-free survivals of probably about, I would say, about 4 to 5 months. The reason for that, we believe, is that none of the patients had chemotherapy for metastatic disease in MONARCH-2. So this clearly now is yet another aromatase inhibitor, another CDK4/6 inhibitor that can be used with hormonal therapy. And I must say the rule of thumb with all of these diseases is a hazard ratio of about 0.5. That is, you take whatever endocrine scenario you have, whatever endocrine therapy you have, and you can double the PFS. So it's very interesting. I think that clearly we now have an embarrassment of riches in the CDK4/6 space with abemaciclib. The only problem with abemaciclib, it does have diarrhea, which can be grade 2 or 3 in approximately 10 to 15% of patients. So this is something that we have to manage and can manage fairly well. One abstract that was also presented during the metastatic session yesterday had to do with survival on PALOMA-1. PALOMA-1 was the first trial of CDK4/6 inhibitors with palbociclib, which is the Pfizer CDK4/6 inhibitor. That initial randomized phase 2 trial of palbociclib and letrozole versus letrozole alone was only 165 patients. And in this particular trial, what we found was that palbociclib and letrozole doubled the progression-free survival for about 10 months to about 20 months. That data was presented several years ago at ASCO and eventually published. What Rich Finn, who was the PI of that study, showed at ASCO yesterday was the overall survival, which was about 37 months in both arms. There appeared to be no difference in overall survival, and there was a PFS benefit. The issue with doing a survival analysis in such a trial is that this is a randomized phase 2. It's very small numbers of patients, so I think a lot of us are kind of a little concerned that I wouldn't argue make too many conclusions from that survival analysis yet. I think that we need to see survival in the larger trials, such as MONALEESA-2 with ribociclib, such as PALOMA-2, a larger trial with palbociclib, and eventually some of these abemaciclib trials as well as the trials with fulvestrant, like PALOMA-3, like MONARCH-2. So once we get all the survivals, then we can get a better idea. And again, is survival even the proper endpoint for measuring the efficacy of CDK4/6 inhibitors? And I'm not sure we know that yet. I think we'll have to see. One thing is clear, though, that women with bone-only disease, that's predominantly endocrine positive, tend to have an overall survival in excess of 5 years. An abstract presented this morning in a poster session from MD Anderson showed their experience with this. And generally, these women tend to live a long time. So therefore, I think that we now have therapies that they can potentially live even longer with the CDK4/6 sorts of therapies that have come out to the market. So